Hello everyone, welcome to Didedi's Crafty Corner. Today we're going to be playing with some Ldrs Creative products. This is from the latest release and I will have a link below. So the items that I'm going to be using today, well these few that I know I'm going to be using, I might add more, I don't know. I'm going to be starting with the Polka Doodles Winnie broomstick. I have not colored her yet, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp her out and color her. I'm also going to be using the Ldrs Plaid, which is a fantastic plaid stencil. I'm going to be using that, and I'm going to be using the inks. Now, I used the other stencil, this one, in a couple of cards already. This one was the leaves, the fall leaves, and it's so pretty, so pretty. But today I wanted to use the plaid for a background for her, I believe. That may not work. I may use the plaid for something else, but we'll have to see at the end, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my plaid background, and then we'll color up Winnie broomstick, and we'll see where we go. All right? I'll be right back. Okay, so I've already gone and stamped out the little Winnie witch. Isn't she adorable stamped out, guys? Oh my goodness. But I've decided not to use her in this project. In fact, I think I'm going to use the Happy Fall critters in this final project, which I will show you when I stamp out those critters. I'll show you the final project. But for today, I'm going to be using the Plaid Ldrs Creative stencil, which is gorgeous. Now make sure you go over to the Ldrs YouTube channel because they have a how-to, an instructional video on this stencil, which is fantastic. So make sure you go on over there and check that out. I watched it, I loved it. So I'm going to be using a little bit of painter's tape just to make sure my stencil doesn't move. I think if you're wanting really crisp, clean, white lines, it's very important that you make sure and tape down your project. A lot of times I don't, and for a lot of my projects it doesn't matter, but for this one I really wanted this to be very clean. The inks that I'm going to be using are the mini cubes from Ldrs, and it is the hybrid, they're hybrid inks. I'm using the purple, which is grape ape, the orange, which is in your face orange, the green, which is olive branch. I'm using a little bit of iced tea, which is a brown, and I'm also using the dandelion, which is a yellow color. Now, I am sporadically but carefully putting these in different places. So my idea was to make my plaid with two tones, but two different tones. And the reason I did this is I wanted to show you that although this is a hybrid ink, which means it's a hybrid between two different inks, this ink is designed to dry quickly and maybe not be as blendable as most inks. I'm finding that these inks blend wonderfully. So I wanted to kind of show you that I could kind of blend out the two colors in between these contrasting colors, if you will. Like I'm going to do purple with gold and purple with green and orange with gold and on and on. And then I will do some solid little triangles around the edges, I think, just to tie it all in. So that's all I'm doing. I'm going in with my one color, my second color, and then I will go back in and blend those two together kind of in the middle. And it's going to turn out to be a vibrant background, a very vibrant background, because I'm laying on the ink thick. You could do this much lighter and have a much lighter background. You could also do it all in one color and fade out the color. You know, you could use your green going into a lighter green would be beautiful. My next one will be that way. But this one, I really wanted it to be different from what I had seen, and I really wanted it to pop. I wanted the color to really pop. My first idea for this was to put Winnie in the middle somehow, and kind of match her colors up. Now, I am recording this after the aftermath of this. I'm doing a voiceover, of course. You guys know I do that. Winnie got lost in this background. I'm not going to lie. And in order for me to make it work, I would have had to put her on a white background or some sort of a background and cover up most of this plaid, and I really just didn't want to do that. Winnie shines on her own and this plaid shines on its own, so I decided to put a smaller grouping on this so that that plaid would just be the focal point. And so I'm going to use a couple of the little mice and rabbits from the Happy Fall set for this one. And like I said, I'll come back and show you that one. So again, I'm just going in and I'm using little finger daubers. You could definitely use a makeup sponge. You could use your blending brushes. You could use your blending tool. I just found that I really like using these little finger daubers when I'm doing smaller little sections. I'm less likely to get it into areas where I don't want it if I use a smaller little brush, but a makeup brush would work fine with that too. So at this point I've decided that I really want to darken up some of these golds. So I want to have my gold not just be dandelion, but I wanted to put some of that iced tea with it and darken it up in places. And I'm going to tell you what, ladies, that made this card. I'm not going to lie. Those two colors together, the iced tea and the dandelion, how does it, dandelion, are great together. They are fantastic together. And in fact, I'm going to tell you the new release of these little mini inks, they all work together as fall cards. I really am enjoying these inks. So let me tell you a little bit what I know about this type of an ink. It's a hybrid ink. What that means is hybrid inks were actually designed for you to be able to use them in your planners and such. They dry fast. That's why they're not necessarily a great blending ink, right? Because they dry kind of fast, and that's what you want when you're using it in a planner. They're a hybrid because they're a pigment ink as well. That's what one of the inks, let me see if I can get this right and not make it backwards. You guys know I love to do things backwards. The dye ink does just that. It dyes the paper. The pigment ink, I believe, if I don't have this backwards, the pigment ink sits on top of the paper. It's the pigment ink that gives you that bright, vibrant, opaque color, right? Which we want when we're doing projects like this. But this also gives you the, see, I already forgot. This also giving you the best of both worlds. So this gives you an ink that dries fast but gives you a great color payoff. Now I think I've shown you in videos, or maybe I haven't released them yet, where these colors stamp beautifully. I did some fall leaves. I'll have to look and see, go back in my playlist and see if I've shown you that. If not, it's taped. I will release it soon. The colors are fantastic when you just stamp them down alone as well. So now I'm just kind of going in and making sure that everything's covered. And are you ready for the big reveal? Guys, this absolutely blew me away. I'm not going to lie. This blew me away. So I think if you go and look on the webpage with these inks, she explains it better than I did, but it is a fantastic ink. I'm really enjoying it. Look, it is beautiful. I'm not lying, guys. This blew me away. I love plaids anyway, and to have a stencil like this in my creation that I can just pull from and do whatever colors for whatever scene that I might want, or a background paper, I'm totally in love. I will make sure and leave a link below this video for all of the products I showed today. And I hope you'll go on over and visit Ldrs and take a look at their products. I am absolutely loving them. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.